What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great day. If it's your first time to the channel, welcome. Great to have you. And if you are a return viewer, welcome as well. So I am currently reading a book called What Would the Rockefellers Do? How the Wealthy Get and Stay That Way, and how you can too. So the book talks about cash flow insurance, whole life insurance, indexed universal life policies, and how they can help you save money, build a legacy, and have that money be available for future generations, like your children, grandchildren, so on and so forth. Great policies, by the way. But I'm reading this book not just for y'all and doing the videos for you guys for each chapter, but I am also reading it for myself, because it's always important to educate ourselves and be more informed in the business that we're in. So as you may or may not know, I am also a life insurance agent. So this book is going to help me as well. So Chapter 3, we're not getting into the meat and potatoes just yet. Chapter 4 is where we get into more specifics on building the proper cash flow insurance policy for you. Chapter 3, it's pretty funny. It's actually entitled, But Dave Ramsey and Suze Orman Said No. Very interesting chapter. If you don't know, those two individuals, Dave Ramsey and Suze Orman, are more proponents of term life insurance policy. They're not big proponents of whole life or permanent life insurance policies. And in the book, Garrett Gunderson, who's the author, talks about how they're not completely wrong in their train of thought, but those two individuals are really more focused on basically saving people's lives financially, where they're just in ruins. They're struggling. They need to cancel debt. They need to get back to a place where they're not drowning, right? And when you're in a situation where you are struggling financially, you are drowning, you are just, man, you don't know where your next meal may come from. If I had a client in that situation and they were interested in some sort of policy, talking about financial ability or people's financials is important in the discussion about life insurance, any type of life insurance. And typically, if they want something less expensive that will just be able to cover their expenses in passing, maybe leave a little bit extra money for their children. Typically, I will go the route of term life insurance. It is less expensive because it does terminate after a certain amount of time, 10 years, 15 years, 25 years, 30 years, based on the age of the individual. So not totally wrong. I don't say bad things about term life. I do sell term life insurance policies probably pretty often for most of my family, friends, customers, clients. But if you are in a position where you are doing well and you want to invest your money and you want your money to grow and you want your money to, be available for your generations to come, your kids, grandkids, whole life policies and permanent life policies like index universal life policies are the way to go. I'm a firm believer of that. Garrett Gunderson is as well. And he talks about Suze Orman and Dave Ramsey talk about mutual funds. And he talks in the book about how mutual funds have a lot of fees. And if you get a mutual fund at age 25, by the time you're 65 or 75, you're paying a ton of fees. And there's tax implications to most of the stuff that they say you should go with, right? Suze Orman and Dave Ramsey. And then mutual funds and all those other things, they're not protected, right? Mutual funds specifically talks about if you were to be sued or something were to happen, they're not protected. They can go after that stuff, but they cannot do that when you have a whole life insurance policy. That money is not touched because it's a life insurance policy. The tax implications as well with other ways of investing your money that you've saved up. I talked about this in the last video. Excuse me. That when you take the money out, it's not taxed if you need a loan from your whole life policy or your indexed universal life policy or any type of whole life policy you get. So that chapter was interesting. I think highly of Dave Ramsey and Suze Orman as well. I think they're very smart people and can help you get out of financial jams, and that's really their cup of tea. But I don't agree with them when they talk about whole life insurance policies and permanent life insurance policies, cash flow insurance policies being a scam or being whatever they call it, because I don't believe it is, especially if you can afford it and you have the money to do it. Again, if you don't and you're struggling, term is the way to go. But if you're able to invest in a policy like this, absolutely should. And I'm a true proponent of it. I have one myself, and it is amazing. So anyway, that was the chapter. Chapter 4, we'll get into more specifics about the policy, and then eventually we'll get into building the right policy and what you should have in it, so on and so forth. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Take care.